Actually, I kind of want to run an audio test. The weird thing is, I have to wear headphones. Check. Check, check, check. Okay, I'm gonna hear it in like 20 minutes. Okay, it's good enough. Could be worse. Check. Okay, yeah. I mean, I know there's a tiny bit of a thing in the background, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, so it's like I am just like working. Oh god, I can hear myself. Okay. Yeah, so like I'm just working in the background. So if you have any like thing. Hey Chandan, hey Aero, how you guys doing? So yeah, I mean like it's pretty new as a thing for me. I'm just like trying to figure this out. Uh, so the entire thing is it's just like if you just want to hang out, ask questions, have a chat, that's great. Okay, let's pop out this chat. So I have this open. Yeah. Let's see. Sure. Okay, that works out. Okay, let's close that. I don't want too much stuff from there. So, I mean, it's just like I am just working on something that I can't really stream, but I'm just like, I can be live still. This question is Shopify Flow work like webhooks? Yeah. So as long as you have a trigger properly set up, it works pretty much just like a, a webhook would. So you know, at any given point of time, you're just like, okay, hey, I can kind of rely on this to give me that context. So it's yeah, I think I would put it that way. So it's just like, hey, you know, I'm doing something. I just set up a trigger and I wanted to run every single time. It's a good way to go because Flow was originally scoped only to Plus merchants, and then later it came out for everyone else. And I've been using Flow for like ages at this point. But yeah, it's Flow's really great. Like I have relied on Flow for a lot of stuff because not everything warrants a custom app. Sometimes you can just be like, hey, let me just do it on Flow and call it a day. Like literally, sometimes that's just what it has been, and it works well. So, uh, in fact, I would even go on to say that if you want to get into app development properly, you can actually spend a lot of time doing a bunch of flows and build and like take that knowledge towards your builds because more or less that's how everything works at this point. And with Shopify going more and more uh, towards the whole concept of, hey, you know, let us host everything for you, it just makes more sense to like uh, understand Flow very well, and then kind of go about it from there. I'm actually trying to find out if I can. Okay, so it doesn't show me what I'm currently live on. Huh. I thought this would be much better in that sense. I wish I could see like the current stuff. I thought I could just see all of the comments here, and that would make things easier to manage, but okay. So yeah, pretty much that's what the whole concept is. Let's see. I'm just opening up my stream on the iPad so I can actually see all of the chat and like clear up some real estate. Oh, there I am. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that works. Any suggestions on migrating a WooCommerce website to Shopify? Just exploring all the options I have. I mean, take one thing at a time. Just be like, hey, first let me pull up all of the products, then let's pull up all of the collections, and like take it like one step at a time, because I know it can get very daunting to get everything done at once. So it's pretty much to a point of, hey, let me migrate this one thing first. Then you see a bunch of content, and then like, hey, let me migrate this other stuff. So take it just like one step at a time. You don't have to do everything all at once, because like I started off doing like insane amounts of migration. That's all I used to do, and eventually it came to a point where it was like, okay, hey, you know what, I'm done with migrations. It's a lot of money, that's great, but I need retainers. And that's pretty much how I started too. Like I used to do a lot of free builds, and then it just ended up being, okay, hey, you know what, let's do migrations. And then all of the people are migrated were obviously on Flow, on Shopify Plus. Almost 90% of them, even at that point. So it was great exposure in that sense of, okay, hey, I get to do that. So then hopping them on a retainer was really great, because I'm like, hey, listen, I've done this. It does not make sense for you to kind of go the other route of like trying to hire someone else. Also, yeah, like if you're just joining in, I'm trying out this new thing where it's like I'm answering a lot of your questions. So it's like, if you want to ask about something, now is a great time. If I need to code something and show it to you, that works with me too. Also need to know that I was making an app for practice and stuck on how can you disable sold out variant Shopify resource picker. I already saw this kind of problems in the early days. Yeah, it's just a lot of reading the documentation and nothing else. Like literally nothing else. So, hold on, let me do this, then let me open up resource picker and one of the things. Let me actually show you. Because I know it can get very daunting, but it's not that difficult once you get into the hang of like reading the docs and doing a lot of trial and error with a lot of your stuff. So yeah, I mean, like, hold on, I'm just getting this done. Wait, no, add condition needs to on click set add condition true. Okay. Let's close all of this. OBS, screen record. Okay. So about resource picker. So I'm not using app.cdn. Are you using app.cdn? I'm very sure you're not using app.cdn because like I don't personally have that kind of faith in it just yet. Hey Mohammed Rafid, how you doing? So yeah, like I do not have enough faith in this to actually kind of go out there and deploy app.cdn just yet. Okay, I need to hide this. I can show you my partner account. I should actually like create a shortcut for the test app. Where is my test app? Okay. So let's do this. Let's do this. Write products. Write intent. This is going to take like 200 years to install, which is like the most irritating part. We run pg create and we run pg start. This one db push. Oh god, I can't do that just yet. Okay, so let's open up Polaris. No, it won't be on Polaris, it would be on Shopify.dev. So, Aero, here's the thing, right? You do not want to show any product that has... Where is AppBridge? I think it's an API in references. AppBridge, previous versions. Methods? No, it's in actions. Resource picker. Layout section. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a card rolling. We also need a state. So resource picker set resource picker use state false. Actually, let me also increase it for you so you can actually see what's going on. Clear npx prisma db push. Oh yeah, this won't function right now because of this. why did it could not receive what? Okay, I did create it. Okay, it's just being whatever. Cool. So let's copy this, update this. So it's exactly the same in both of my repos. So you don't have to be like, hey, you know, I'm coming from the other one. Given it's like front end stuff. Am I logged in? I think I'm logged into my work account. There's like so much at times to like jungle through. All right, that's updated. npm run dev. This is up. Let's install this. Okay, so your original query was, I also need to know which I was making an app for practice. Stuck on how can we disable sold out variants on resource picker. Okay. So resource picker, let's come to React component, resource type. Okay, so there's nothing that's very straight on this. So here's what I would do. Right? Let's first create a button for a resource picker. On click, set resource picker to true. Okay. So this now works. Now let's actually pull in resource picker. What's the thing? Wait, where is the React component? Yeah, okay. Over here, I want to, did I pull in? Yeah, I pulled in the right one. Open is resource picker. And resource type is product. Okay, let's actually test it out. Okay, so it's working fine. Now on cancel, set resource picker to false. You shouldn't be doing this. You should actually use a callback and use the function just so that it works properly. Okay, so now you see how you have like it also telling you that hey, 0 is available. What I also want to do on selection, I want to take that value and just console log it. Okay, we are not doing anything else with it, right? So if I add this and I open up my console, I have an object, right? Which is value.selection. So let's just kind of get value.selection directly, just so that it's easier. Now, here's the thing, right? When you have this, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have, yeah, so total inventory is 0, right? So essentially what you want to do is value.selection is, wait, why is it it's an array, right? Yeah. So essentially what you want to do here is map over value.selection, right? And then what you're going to do is, let's say the value is called map, right? Or let's just say it's just selection, right? So if selection.total inventory equals 0, what you want to do is you want to just add a badge over here that says that, hey, this product is out of stock, so you can't work on this. Or as you are now doing this, you can throw in an alert stating that uh, two products were not included because they are out of stock, right? It's a very basic thing. You don't have to kind of break your head over this a lot. As long as you're letting your merchant know, hey, you can't actually select these. And then because it's just an array, what you can do is if the inventory is 0, just don't include it in your selection, right? So because this value.selection, you're mostly going to be storing it in a state, right? Just exclude it. It's not something too like something that you want to overcomplicate. Just keep it simple. I have a question. It could be a new question. Please pardon me for this. And to add the filter on my product page based on your product meta field. I want to implement this feature with app theme extension from my app to modify front end. Wait, what? Getting great. I need to add some filter on my product page based on your and model. Why would you use a theme app extension when you can do that with Liquid? Rafid, it absolutely does not make sense to like even think about writing an app there. That's a Liquid thing. Like all you have to do is add in a new this thing where you're reading from the product meta field and pass it as a value so that can be added into a filter. Like your let's actually view it. Right? So in your catalog, when you come in here, you're talking about this filter, right? It actually makes more sense to have it with Liquid. Like I don't see any single point of view where I would be like, hey, let's create an app for this. Like it makes zero sense. And I would not recommend unnecessarily doing an app unless you're creating a completely new filter. Even in that case, just do it on Liquid, my guy. But if you want to create an app doing this, like I haven't even spent enough time to even think about it because this is something that makes much more sense when you're doing it with Liquid. Aero, I know you were trying to like completely disable this instead. Like I know you do not want this to be selectable, right? But the end idea is it's nowhere in the documentation where we can actually do. So if that's not there, the best we can do actually is to just let the merchant know like, hey, besides I'm a little confused about why you would need to do that. That's a different story altogether. I'm not going to go too much into it. But if you can't do it, or like if you're like, hey, I don't want to select out of variant, like out of stock products, just let them know like, hey, this is something that we cannot do, and that's about it. And make sure you reason with them, be like, hey, since we are doing XYZ, it does not make sense to do it, so hence I'm just not going to let you do that. Like it's a very clear and straightforward thing. You do not have to break your head over it. Again, this comes down a lot into how you're designing your apps. So yeah, I hope that answers your question though. Exit this. What app am I making right now? I actually can't talk about it. Otherwise, I would have live streamed the entire thing. But the sad thing is, I can't talk about it. I can't even show it because of what's being built. So yeah, I mean, like I joined an agency and we're building apps there now. So I'm just like, hey, you know what? I can't really show what I'm doing. So that's just a thing now. Like I'd really love to, but the thing at the end of the day is I actually can't. So I'm not even gonna like try to get permission, because like I also understand why we don't want to show off what we're building right now. So I'm just like, all right, that's what we're doing. Let's see. And plus, like, I think building apps is like so much more easier now. Like, I remember when I had to build using Next in Core. Core is just like Express, but I find it much more complicated. And I was just like, it needs to be simplified, which is how I ended up creating my first open source template. And from there, we went on to Express and then to Next.js. So Blackbeard, the thing is, uh, it's not particularly viable to kind of go around creating content on a regular basis, because one of the baseline things that comes here is like it's just like, I'm gonna be very honest on this, it's just not profitable to do that, right? Because I can create a bunch of videos, cover everything up, and like, since like this market is just free, like there's no one in this niche, I am like very chill about it. I'm just like, I don't even have to put in like 1% of the effort as someone, let's say for example, who's doing React videos would have to do, or any other kind of videos for that matter. I do not have to really put in insane efforts. As long as I'm doing a decent enough job, things are going well. Which is why I was like, okay, hey, I want to turn that into a live service and convert it into a course instead. So like right here on this, where it's just like, I actually built out a course that's on pre-order. It's available at createshopapp.com. And yeah, I mean, like, it's not that I'm going to stop making videos on YouTube. It's just that over the last 3 months, I have actually been working on the course, which is why there's no videos. But yeah, like that's essentially what we are looking at. As much as I would love to, it's just honestly not viable. Like, I even hate saying this. It's just not viable to kind of do that. But yeah, one of the more baseline things is there's a lot of tool envy for some reason. Like, people love keeping tools to themselves, and I'm like, I have no idea why you would do that, but okay. Hey Atala, what do you think about Remix? I don't like Remix, and it's not a recent thing. I read about Remix when Remix was still a paid framework, and at that point of time, I tried around. I played around with it. I didn't like it as much. I am much more a Next.js person, but even on Next.js, I do not like the app router. I prefer using the pages router instead. Because it's much more closer to reality. The app router is great if you're building static things, but the moment you're building something like a Shopify app or a dashboard or a SaaS, it's just not there. But if I'm building a blog, I would use the app router, like without a doubt. But yeah, like, I've gotten a lot of requests to create a remix template, but I'm just not that into it. Like that's just the baseline reality. I just do not like remix enough. And to be honest with you, I do not like I haven't used remix to a point where I can be like, hey, you know what, this is what makes sense. Like my templates are just like, hey, you know, I know where you're struggling, let me just help you out with that. uh, and yeah, like for me to kind of build a nice prefix, for me to build like a remix template, it would actually require me to spend a lot of time doing remix, and then on top of that, deploy at least one app on remix before I'm like, okay, hey, this is what I'm looking for in terms of developer experience. Because if it's not up to my standard, I am not building it. Like I'm not releasing it. Sorry, not about building it. I'm not releasing it. What? So yeah, that's on remix. And I really hope I could like show off what I'm building, but like I'm gonna be like instantly fired. Actually don't like because it's hard to create external endpoint. It's not actually. It's very straightforward. The entire problem is no one actually wants to spend the time into learning the framework properly. That's where the problem is. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I remember messing around with Remix. It is not that difficult. Like, I do have this very broken template. It's not that difficult. Way back on return JSON. Yeah, do a thing. Get on YouTube, learn Remix properly, and before that, make sure that your concepts on like HTML and DOM manipulation are correct. And before that, make sure that you know basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Like you would be surprised the amount of people who come in ask me like, hey, you know, how do I do this? And I'm just like, have you actually considered fixing your basics? And they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I just jumped on React or Remix or this. And I'm just like, no. It's an extremely terrible idea. Saifuddin, hi, how do you consume webhook in Shopify? If you do not know how to consume webhooks, go back, read the documentations. Like, being very clear about it. Just go back and read docs. Like, I'm not even gonna bother answering anything more than that. Prefix that out. But if my source down can be localized, so I can spin this into a separate component. Yeah, I mean, like trust me, I actually want to answer the question, but the most irritating part is everyone then just goes, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? I mean, you could just read the docs. That's literally about it. There's nothing more to it. think this needs to be under the good stack. I mean, letting some liquid files into the theme these days, but maybe you know this endpoint will not be used as is an alternative of this. If you like, those script tags are going away if that's what you're asking about. But if you want to like inject code, use a theme app extension, or you can use the read themes, write themes, like the asset API to be able to do that. Hi, who am I? Like, whoever you are, I guess. I don't know if it's possible to use a theme app extension to add an app block HTML element to the product container by in the theme. So the merchant install the app and automatic custom call will be required. Sure. Yeah, so what you can do is, again, like if you read the docs, you would know about this, is you can link your theme app extension to open up on a specific page. And like, I'm not actually going to give you the entire thing because I want you to go and read the documentation and figure it out yourself. Think like I'm nudging you in the right direction. In the docs, there is this very clearly written that you can hotlink your theme app extensions. So when you do that, once the installation is like, once your app is installed, on your onboarding, you can just be like, hey, click here to install the theme app extension. And whenever you are in request or design mode, you can send in a query, like a simple JSON to your app proxy route stating that, hey, this is now live. Yeah, that's how I would do it. Like, otherwise, this absolutely makes no sense. Like, the whole idea of, hey, I want to do this in a very specific way, it's a little because I know there's a bunch of stuff that we want to do, but the reason why theme app extensions were introduced is because most developers never really cared to clean up their leftover code, which actually caused a lot of issues. Like, I remember charging people left, right, and center, be like, hey, I'm gonna clean your theme, just pay me $1 bajillion, and people did. So I'm not mad. Like, that's how I got most of my clients, but like, we don't really want to do that anymore, you know? What is this? Box and horizontal stack. Modal sections. Section, and then you have a backdrop. Okay, that's how you do it. In the video, you showed us how to create automatic discount. Do you know if it's possible to make a condition that the discount can only be used a certain amount of times? Yeah. So, what you want to do here is, on that specific customer or on that email, you just want to keep a count on how many times it has been used, either by using a tag or a meta field. And if that tag or meta field value is more than, whatever you want, you can just stop it. Actually, wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure there's a endpoint for it. let's see, where is this? Oh yeah, you can just use the usage limits card. Where is Chrome? See, the answers are like literally all like, I hate this because if you just put in a little bit of effort to go through the docs, you would literally have the entire solution in front of you. And it's not even like a half-ass solution, it's literally like written for you. So, I mean, I get it, you're new to it or whatever it is, but still, at the end of the day, it gets very irritating sometimes. And of course, like every question is technically has an answer in the docs, but then there's like a specific stack of questions that you don't ask. If the question was, hey, how do I implement it? Different story. But it's like, hey, how can I do this? Like, read the docs. Like the other question about resource picker, I'm like, okay, that made sense because it's not really in the docs, and how would you deal with something like this, right? So it's like, hey, I've spent enough time on docs, I've asked ChatGPT, and I'm like, I still can't figure out how do I do it, or even if there is a way to do it. And then when you ask that question, then it makes sense. We're like, hey, I've done a lot of research, and I kind of want to see like, hey, how would you do it? Like, cool, you know? Like I literally whipped up an example. Like, hey, this is how you would do it. So that kind of stuff makes sense. But if you're just asking around questions on, hey, how do I do this? Like, read the docs, please. Like, I know it takes a lot of time to read the docs, but you should. It's very fun place. And horizontal stack was right. Horizontal stack. Background. No, I don't think this is how you would do it. Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to kind of go through your questions and see what you guys are building. But yeah, a lot of times I get super irritated when something could be, like if something's new, like most functions questions and checkout UI questions, I'm just like, you know what, even I'm still learning understandable, right? But most of the stuff I'm just like, or do I do this instead? God. Background. No, this is not right. So I can't have a card inside of a card because that's messy. Oh god, building UI, it gets so irritating at times. Okay, that does not make sense. Does this? No, this does not. Huh. So I create a model, I do this, I call this function. Also, like if you're just joining in, hi, I wish I could show you what I'm working on, but I'm not allowed to. So this is just like, if you ask me a question that requires me to like write the code, more than happy to kind of do that, like I've already done once. But for most parts we are, but if adding new condition like this does not make sense, I'd rather, yeah, let's not go this route. Like I really wish I could show you what I'm working on, like talk about it, but I can't talk about it until it's out. And it's going to be a while before it's out. So I'm just kind of like just stuck here to be like, hey, I can just do, I do this, add another, and add this as a group. I think all the third-party blocks on CSS store, I hate it. Sometimes I feel like they should be chucked out of the App Store, but then if you kind of think about it, it's not easy to migrate an entire application. Because see, at the end of the day, e-commerce applications are extremely high availability applications in the sense that you cannot mess up even once. It's just not in the cards. You mess up once, you lose all customer trust, and you're dead. Like nothing can be done at this point. Like you're done for. Pack up, go home. So, can you work, please? Thank you. So, it's like a lot of us love to complain, but then I've seen some developers, they're just like, listen, we'll just hire a bunch of people, we need to get this done. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you where you're coming from on this. But what if I want to show it as 50-50? It needs to be horizontally grid. Columns, 1/2, 1/2. Huh, that worked out really well. Gap, yeah, gap of 2. Now needs more gap. 4. Okay, first needs to be, what's the action bottom? Is there a solution where app should use tailwind for styling and JS frame of color? Alpine where you store, compile all the CSS and Apple handles on the JS, do you think? You're still gonna ship a bunch of things for tailwind. So it's like the more layers you add to things, the more complicated it becomes, which I absolutely hate, by the way. Which is one of the reasons why I have made it a habit to always use sorry, hold on, I'm doing something. Yeah, always use this thing, vanilla JS and CSS. Like, I know everyone's just like, hey, I can use this and I can use that. And I'm like, instead of wasting your time on this, if you just invested a little bit of time into learning vanilla stuff, and I know it's irritating, but it's performant. And that's what we are concerned with. Because here's the thing, I know of merchants that are just like, hey, listen, if the performance isn't good, just throw it out. Like, just straight up. Just like, hey, let's just throw it out. No questions asked. And I mean, if you ever deal with merchants like that, you're done for, buddy. No one's coming to save you at that point of time. And I mean, at the end of the day, performance is everything. And so if you can't really come up on performance, someone like me is going to come in and just build it. and like take that merchant away from you. So yeah, like that's how pretty much it works. And I mean, like, again, these are all my opinions. Please go ahead, try it out. Be like, hey, Hoshdeep, no, you were wrong. Uh, if I do this and this and this actually works really well. And I'd actually love to see it. You know, it's always fun to be proven wrong, and I could be like, hey, you know what? Maybe okay, hey, your stuff actually works really well, and let's actually use that, and I'm gonna incorporate it into my own thing. But then, you know, when I take on motion sites pretty fast. Also, I'm good at vanilla CSS, but I scratch my head coming out good class names. Who cares? I'll export action. Like, no merchant is actually opening up and seeing, they're like, oh, your class naming is bad. Are you not going to use your app? It doesn't work that way, you know. What matters is it's performant, it gets the job done, and they're just gonna throw money at you. That is like the most baseline thing of being a Shopify developer. It's just like you actually need to solve a problem and you need to make sure that it's performant, it's built well, and the merchant experience is great. Like, I've never had customer support on any of my apps. It's always like, sorry, customer support in the sense of live chat, but it's always been emails. I'm not the one to go, oh, hey, let me add this. Like, no live chat. Don't like it, don't use it. I do not want to spend the time even thinking about it. I'd rather invest that time into oh yeah, this is what I want to do. But how would I display it? Sorry. Yeah, like, I never like live chat because it's way too much work, to be honest with you. I'd rather build a better end user experience and let that handle it. Like, it does not make sense to waste time doing a bunch of this hoagie. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh, well, you're blabbering stuff. I'm like, it's been 6.5 years. I've always been very anti live chat, still am, and it's working out well for me. But then, no, it's also, I'm using someone's app. I actually really hope you center your stuff because it's very irritating. Oh, so I can write that does not make sense. Okay, I can just do that. Okay, I know everything I'm saying does not make sense because I'm the only one who can watch my screen, but like, some things are making a lot of sense to me right now. So if I, but that still doesn't make sense. What about a description list? Or a list? Correct. This makes a lot of sense. So popper goes away. We use this instead. Have I ever stated how much I hate TypeScript? Because I can't state it enough. Error during SSR. Option list is not defined. Okay, let's define. Cool. Oh, but then it. No, but this should be a drop down. It's. Oh, correct. I can just do this instead. I swear, I wish I could show what I'm doing because it would make a lot of sense. But sadly, I cannot. I'm gonna go to option list. Take this, throw that in there. Can't find variables. Thank you. Why is the most basic stuff? Yeah, I think this should now fix it. Use callback is not defined. So yeah, I mean like, at the end of the day, as long as it works, and it works. What if it needs to be sectioned? So instead of options, we call it. Okay, so sections. And then options inside of it. And so you do this. Oh no, but it doesn't show it as a. Oh wait, actually I haven't. What's okay? So I need a title. Now when I do this, oh, but then it's huge. Okay, I want to try this out, but I'm very sure it won't be accepted. So product cart, customer and shipping. Product. Product cart, customer shipping. How does it look on mobile? Oh god, okay. I think there's a reason why they had a div before it. Yep. The width and height needs to be. Hey Evan, thank you. It's the Cyberboard R3. Or should I put in space? This just goes one over. No, this doesn't want. What's happening? Yeah, this is a bad idea. Nice Q and Mouse, thank you. This is the. Hold on, let me open up OBS or I won't be able to see. This is the Logitech Lift. This is a vertical mouse. So instead of your hand going this, you do it this way. So it's much more convenient to kind of do it because you're gripping it and whoops. Things don't go haywire like they just did. Let's lock these two. Yeah, so this was like $100 US. This keyboard we don't talk about. This is Angry Meow's Cyberboard R3. This comes in with a bunch of like stuff, and it's like programmable, and it also, God, it's heavy. So yeah, whoops. This is like a pure aluminum keyboard. This is like 5 kilos, or like about 11 pounds, I think. Yeah, it should be about 11 pounds or 5 kgs. Whatever floats your boat. Wait, why is my CSS not here? Also, the Shopify partner agreement just got updated, so that would be a fun read. But I need to hold on to this first. Yeah, I'm not implementing it this way. pop over. Let's kill that. I think here, if I have a selection list, okay, this is exactly what I was looking for. That's so cool. But why is it so complicated? If you take a look at popover with searchable list box, this is so complicated. I mean, it's lazy loaded, so that's good. And also you need like so much custom CSS to actually get it up and running. And then the lazy loading needs to be there, and then this needs to work this way. Yeah, it does not, like, I like this, but okay, let's keep looking. So I'm creating a form where I need a drop down on a text field. Not sure if that's the right way to go, but I'm like still looking at other apps and how they implement it. Box with loading. That wouldn't solve this issue. I don't need multi-select. Oh my god, this is so dumb. It was just a simple select this whole time. Oh my god. What's happening on Twitter? Okay. Yep. Found what I was looking for. Turns out it was here all along. Now the thing is, do I want to use this as code? So con selected. Handle set change. Okay, now I can use okay, yeah, this makes so much sense. So here this could be client, customer, shipping, product, customer, shipping, and cart, or should I call it checkout? I think I should just call it cart. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S. Okay. Selected category. Set selected category, and then this could end up being selected subcategory. And now make this that works out. Handle category change, handle subcategory change, selected subcategory. Okay, yeah. Do we have a placeholder? We do have a placeholder. Refresh. Oh no, this actually does not like it. Okay. Now I need to make this in a single file. Horizontal stack. Gap is 2. Block line is center. Actually, if I add, let's say, another 2, okay, it does do that thing that I was looking for. Okay. Now select, and this should be condition. Handle condition change, selected condition. Wait, what? Selected condition and handle connection. Okay. I need to make the divs in a different way. Okay. category options, subcategory option, condition options. Oh. Subcat and condition options. Okay. Is not contains does not contain is not contains does not contain. This is gonna be optional, so let's make it tags vendor in stock. Actually, no. Tag vendor. I mean, I don't really care about these two right now, so that's fine. Let's tag and vendor. Okay, so shipping tag is and then a text field. Oh my god, this is so irritating. By the way, hi everyone who's just joining in. I'm just building an app that I can't really show, but if you have any Shopify questions, feel free to just drop in. On change. I'm so not happy with this UI. But okay, I'm just gonna leave this here while I move on to the next. Color critical. Hey, thanks D. That's a Cyberboard R3. I actually wanted to add a customization here, something like this one, which said like and subscribe, but I was like, that's gonna be too much of being a YouTuber, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But what we do have is Pepe the Frog, and we also have Among Us. I don't know why I thought this would be extremely funny to have on my board, like constantly doing this. But yeah, I ended up with just like this. It's calm, it's nice, gets the job done, and I was like, hey, this is like flashy enough. Okay, I'm gonna move on from this. So what? Okay, so I actually jumped the gun. I didn't do the what. I jumped on to when. So, just for some context, what I usually like to do is whenever I'm creating a configurator, I would usually address three things: what, when, and how. And that blocks it always seems to work. Like if you're creating a configuration for a discount, like what is being discounted, when is it being discounted, and how is it being discounted. And then if you put it on tabs, like of course that makes it even more clearer that hey, this is what's actually happening. But do I want to do that? That's a question. It's a very good question. Vertical stack, button, select products. Oh no, this needs to be in a card, and then section it out. Dividers. But this, actually no, this needs to be inside, gap needs to be 4. Select products. Should I just do it products? Okay, select products. On click, I wanted to open resource picker, but also be aware it could either be products or collections or specific product variants. Okay. Now that button's done. Select products, product, variant, collection. I need a way to show that you're selecting that. We'll come to that in a second. And do I want to put an index table or a data table here? I want something that's editable, so it's going to be index table. Okay, disabled rows too. Yeah, let's actually go with the default one. But instead of an used to organize panels from data visualization, results mostly compare and analyze the data. We're not letting them analyze. I mean, technically, you're viewing a data set. Technically. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with this thing. Let's import data table and let's head into select products. I actually don't want the padding on the card then. border block end width, border style. Can I just call it section padding 0? I think this should do it. If not, I'm just removing the padding there. Nope, that did not do anything. Yeah, actually, this could go here, and padding on the card becomes 0. Okay, but the box does that. Full width. Is it? Okay, no. This needs to be 4. And my vertical gap needs to go from 4 to 2. Product. Variance. Price. Range. I can remove this. And on here, I can just remove the last 2 values. I think this gets the point across. But then do I also want to... No, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Do I add this here? Actually, I added in the thing. Okay, so what to show, when to show, and how to show. Okay, so now we're in the how area. This would be okay. Add condition. That section is here. Okay. Text. Why? Text as h2, variant heading md. This goes over. What does this go over? What to show, when to show, and how to show. How becomes design. Template. Put this in a vertical stack. Gap is 2. Now here I kinda would to put on some images. But if I put it on a box, actually let's put a box. Yeah, let's put on a box. Let's put a image over here. image is not defined. I don't really care. Okay, this is huge. Pixels should be fine. Yeah, that seems like right. Okay, now this needs to be a horizontal grid. Columns 1/2. Okay, I'm not worried about spacing right now. Border, color, border. Border width 5. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, no. So I can now technically swap around the border color. Border success. Border primary. No. Border success. But this is like 2. Okay. And I also want to overlay an image. Yeah, no, border default makes sense. Actually, instead of horizontal grid, I should be using horizontal stack. Here are JSS element, and it comes down to image props, which actually pulls from HTML image element. Okay, so I can technically pixels solid. Did that work? That did not work. Oh wait, this worked. That's fun. So if I were to add border default solid this, but why wouldn't it change colors though? Okay, let's make that 15 pixels. Yeah, that works. Oh, wait, I can actually assign color. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna waste too much time on this. I think this works. So I'm just gonna let this be here. Actually, now that I think about it, so my consideration for a configuration was what to show, when to show, and how to show. But from the looks of it, it feels like I'm gonna go the route of how to show, how how to show, what to show, and when. Okay. And also, if I swap the entire thing into multiple accordions, it gives me a lot of space. Okay, yeah. So I'm designing an app. I'm not particularly very happy with it at the moment, at least. Oh god, I deleted some stuff. I shouldn't have done that much. But I think this is where I bring in the UI guy and have them do it, because, like, as far as my brain's running, I'm just like, okay, hey, this makes sense, but it also does not make sense on a lot of areas. So, now can I use the extension library here? Check out URI. Okay, I'm hoping this does not break anything, but in case it does, I mean, of course, something has to break. No such file or directory. Actually, if I just override, how much would you cry? Overrides. Shopify UI extensions React. Oops, React here needs to be 18.2.0. npm ls react, npm ls react down. Thank god. Okay. using turbo. Okay, now I need to create that. Okay. Oh god, I really hope this works. No! I'm gonna have to literally recreate the entire component library because Polaris does not play well with this. Oh my god. I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, let's see if we can still salvage. I should be able to salvage this, right? I should be able to. Technically, am I in the right library? I am. Okay, this exists. Button as checkout button, image as checkout image, text as checkout text, inline stack as checkout this, as checkout. As checkout React extension. Okay, so I don't need React extension technically. Inline stacks. Oh god, I hope this works. Inline stack is not defined. Of course it's not defined. Okay. No remote render UI. So technically we are close. But now the question is, if these elements, these elements do not exist here. So I have no other option but to actually just recreate the entire thing. Basically. Which could be worse, technically, but okay. Huh. Actually, it's not that difficult to do it. If I have this open, this I think needs to be 800 pixies. Okay, we'll design it in a second. Max width is this. This now 800 pixies is too much. 4. It could be 6. Actually no, it's just this much. So I think 4 was correct. Oh, nailed it. Okay. Border, color, default. border with 1 pixel. That looks ugly. No, it's border subdued. Oh, it's too light to actually be seen. Okay. Border radius 5. Does that fix it? The 4, 2, 3. Yep. And so that makes it that way. Okay. And now I come into my image, which I'm just gonna leave for now because width could just be and height could just be, let's see, let's make it 10 pixies by 10 pixies. If you're just joining in, don't worry about it. No one has any context. Okay, I can just actually throw this to be honest with you. Let's throw this out. Okay. So this is there. I think inside the box. Yeah, inside the box I need to create a new stack. But do I want to create a Okay, yeah, let's make it horizontal grid. And technically this should have been outside the box all along. No, actually this should be inside the card. Okay. So inside the card you have a horizontal grid, which no. The box then contains the horizontal grid. Okay, so now now what's your issue? Okay. Correct. So this should be in columns 1/3, 1, 2/3. I wish I could tell you guys what I'm working on because I know nothing absolutely makes sense right now. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it won't really render. Got it. Okay, this is broken. Holes, holes, and holes. But the first one needs to be 2/3 is bigger than. Nay, then if that is the case. Okay, let's actually roll with this. So let's make it as a div. Actually, let's hold it as a react.fragment. Oh no, I can't do that because that's just gonna disappear. Okay. But why does this? No, my name isn't Hura, it's Horshdeep. Just gotta find out on that. But sure, what's up? I'm going to deploy action, live store does not show on app embed on live store. Where does it run? Dev store. Is there any command that run for deploy live? I honestly have no clue. You kind of need to give me some more context before I can actually comment on it. Okay, and then holes needs to be in the vertical stack. This goes here, text as h3, variant, heading, med. Let's call this heading. Body medium. Color is subdued. Okay, getting close. But I think this is still smaller. Heading SM and body SM. Yep, that feels closer. And then a button that says button. Oops, not here. Not here either. Button that says button. Okay. But this does not have to be fully formed. Cool. Align end. Oh shit, I think I figured it out. Yep. This looks about right. I wish I could color it the way I want to color it. Blue. No. Okay, our disclosure? No. Primary makes it black. Yep, I think this is what exactly we're looking for. Actually, wait, let's do this. Also, I just realized there's an unnecessary, oh my god. Yeah, I should fix that. Image placeholder PNG. Where's my image placeholder? Let's add it to public. Okay, where's image? Oh, this looks so beautiful, dude. Okay, wait, 10 pixels by 10 pixels too small. 100? Okay, that's too big. 20. No, 50. 50 actually looks about right. $65. Yeah, actually much better. Now horizontal stack. We do not need wrapping. Ooh, block align center. Why does this one do? Now, how do I properly resize this button? Is like a new question I need to answer. What if I wrap it in a div? Okay, thank God. But now what's the problem? Align is end, block line is center. Ooh, okay, but wait, this is not big enough. Okay, I didn't even have to wrap it into a div. The padding needs to increase. Jeez. Okay, I'll come to this later because I need to kind of keep moving forward. So one of the things I do while designing any sort of UI is to like keep moving forward and not waste too much time on certain things. I need to add breakpoints to the main one. So this section does nothing. The discounts functionality can't figure the number of users a customer can use the discount. You actually can. I linked you to the documentation. If you get into the habit of reading docs, you actually wouldn't have those issues. Because I read those exact same docs, I had to look it in my knowledge base and like pull it out from there. What was I doing? Horizontal grid. Grid. So this has to be in array. Okay, let's mess around with this. Where is this? Okay, yeah, this needs to change to max width. Okay, you look better now. Oh, thank God. Okay. Zone extra small, you are single, which is good. I think on small I still want you to be one. Oh, thank God this now functions as expected. Why was this so complicated to begin with though? Yeah. Hmm. And what if I go to okay. Let's see, let's get back here. Okay. So this is done. That takes care of a bunch of stuff. Hey Andres, how you doing? I'm like building an app that I can't really show off that I'm building. But yeah, like if you have any what was I gonna say? Yeah, if you have any Shopify questions, please feel free to let me know. This is so irritating. Shouldn't have these as primary buttons. Adding a condition should be primary instead. Yeah. Actually, I don't want this to be no. Like, can you imagine I've spent like 3 weeks on just the UI for the app? It does not function. It's just the UI. But first, a more meta question. Okay, go ahead. Also, like for some reason, there's a huge delay. Like I usually haven't seen this kind of delay uh, across the entire thing. So I'm just like, cool. But yeah, please feel free to like ask your questions. Okay. Uh, yeah, to be extremely honest with you, uh, I have been thinking a lot about this exact question because Discord is an echo chamber and so is Slack. Twitter, you could still get attention of a bunch of people, but then that is extremely dependent on how active you are on Twitter. Yeah, to be honest with you, like once the pre-order stuff is done for the course, I'm gonna open Discord to everyone, but like certain course stuff is gonna be scoped to the people who bought the course. But it's like, yeah, I am not trying to cultivate that area, so it's just like, to be very honest with you, I'm gonna be very picky about who I let in. Like you're allowed to get in, but then only when I've seen that, okay, hey, you're being helpful enough that you'd be then promoted to a certain extent to those exports area, where I'm just like, okay, hey, the people who are in here actually know what they're doing. Because this is an actual issue that I've seen. And so a lot of people ask me like, hey, Harshdeep, you do open source, you should do all of this stuff. I'm like, I am very irritated with this because like even I have questions that I can't get answers to. And that's what I tell everyone. I'm like, when you have a problem, you come to me, but where do I go when I have a problem? And people are just like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm just like, like even I need a place. Like, so yeah, I mean, sorry. What are they saying? Yeah, I mean, even I need a place to, kind of just go to and ask my questions because I get very agitated on these things. But then, yeah, sometimes I'm just like, it is what it is and just call it today. But sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you know what, screw it, I'll just build this myself. I'm just like, fine, I'll do it myself. That is the thing. Yeah, see, and just the thing is, they're cutting back on Shopify Plus support. And if they're cutting back on Shopify Plus support, mate, there's nothing you and I can do. Like, if their support is being cut off, I'm just like, we are no one. I don't like how this looks. Block align, center align, start. But this should technically stretch. Yeah, I mean it's. I really hope they sort it out quickly, but if like again these are all personal opinions, right? I feel like Shopify, just like any other company, is moving a lot towards AI, and it's like we need to do as third party communities. We like I am not relying on them, to be honest with you. Like zero this thing. I'm just like I am just not gonna like rely on that. Because see, I feel like the Discord was built. I came under the expectation that okay, hey, they're gonna be a little partial, and a bunch of people who are extremely helpful, they're gonna be pulled into a separate channel. So there is this ladder to climb, but nothing. And yeah, another thing is just how many people are you gonna employ to kind of deal with this, because the more you kind of get into this, the more irritating it's gonna get. And like I understand their point too. Eventually you're gonna have to come to a point where you're like, okay, this is not viable, cut it out. So yeah, I was just like, I'm in the process of building my own, because I'm just like, I need a place where I want to go to help. And I'm being very selective about, in most places I'm just like whoever I let in, because I'm not gonna make that mistake of, oh hey, I need like 10,000 people in my Discord. Like no, I want a very tight group in there. And it's like, you know, as you're climbing up the ranks, you get access to more and more stuff, just so that we can remove all of the bottom line annoying people. I hate to use that term, but then it is what it is. Because sometimes, like, I love doing open source, but I don't like taking a look at the issues. But then again, you know, sometimes I'm just like, hey, you know, I was also a newbie once, and like I wish I had someone like me to kind of be there and help me out on this. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, but I am not this annoying, and that's probably one of the only reasons why people actually responded to me. So, you know, it's like a thing that I haven't really made a very strong call on, but yeah. Like, I want to be nice, but yeah. Feedback indicator. No, not feedback. Why am I getting into feedback indicators? Action list, sections, no. Discussion list, no. List, extra type, no. Option list. Valuable, no. List box. I don't know where I saw that specific thing, but okay. I'm gonna have to create it for. I hate this too. Title. But why would you put it in a separate line, my guy? Gabagoo. I think I should just like stack it in horizontal stack. Gabs to yeah, I mean, Andreas, like, if you have any questions, just like ping me directly, dude. It's also good that you reminded me. I've totally forgotten about something. Huh. It's a theme-based issue. What is it, Andrews? Talk to me. Could be a very high chance I've already done it, but okay. Okay, let's say I just needed to add a pop-up in the product form where I need to show some legally required stuff. Okay. To integrate it, I wanted to add some settings to a block in the section in the product. But whenever I add them and save the file, Shopify theme dev, theme editor, sync updates the connected themes immediately gets change version back where I'm not sure if I understand, but instead of running theme dev, once you are happy with the configuration, just run push once. I feel that should just like sort itself out. If not, Andreas, you know what? Do a thing, just drop me a DM on Twitter. Let's hop on a call and sort it out in a day or two. Oh, this is okay. Oh, just message me on Twitter. Twitter works just fine. Or as people now call it, X.com. There's so many people just complaining. We're like, hey, my wife's called me up. They're like, why do you have money coming in from X.com? And then they've had to explain. We're like, no, it's just Twitter. It's very funny to see that happening though. Okay. Public goes here. Okay, can't do anything. Branding, revenue, and validation. Branding, revenue, validation. Prakash. I don't think Prakash needs. Yeah, Prakash doesn't need components. Did I add any styles? I think I'll Alex you then. Okay. It's just DM, dude. Like, Don't worry about it. CD app ready. CD git add, git commit, add new pages, git push, exit. Okay, let's see what all got pushed up. Dude, I've become so slow with app dev, it's laughable. Like earlier it was just bam 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 done, and like with the new checkout and extension stuff, I am just like, I have zero idea what I'm doing. Thank you. I'm just like toning this off now. Like I'm done. It's 2:39 in the morning for me, and I'm just like completely done for today. I need to wake up a little early tomorrow, finish up this entire app. Oh, fuck's sake. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Oh my god, I deleted a bunch of necessary stuff. Why am I like this? Yeah, and also I can't design on Next.js anymore. I'll have to use the other thing. Components, hooks, providers, fuck. I deleted a bunch of hooks and providers, and this is gonna go to production. What a build! Actually, I can just build and see if it's working properly or not. The oldest trick in the book. First load. Index layout is too huge. 91 KB. Okay, this works fine. Yep, this goes. Yep, alright, that's it for today, peeps. I can just show my face. I wanted to show off my keyboard and my typing skills. Alright, take care everyone. Goodbye.